All right, this is SAT Prep. We're doing test 1, section 3, and this is number 14. If 3x minus y equals 12, what is the value of 8 to the x over 2 to the y? Okay, so here's the idea, right? The easiest way to do this, right, is probably to solve this equation, right? So solve for y because it's the easier of the variable, right? Like it's harder to solve, it'll be harder to solve for x, I'll get fractions, right? So if I do that, I'm going to get 3x minus 12 is the same as a y. So then let's look at this expression. Well, this is an 8 to the x over a 2 to the 3x minus 12, right? Remember that 8 is actually a 2 to the third, right? So this is a 2 to the third to the x over a 2 to the 3x times a 2 to the negative 12th, right? Because that's how it works when you have when they're being added or subtracted, right? So so I seem to have a 2 to the 3x on the top over a 2 to the 3x times a 2 to the negative 12th. Well, these are the same value. So this is a 1 over a 2 to the negative 12th, which is a 2 to the 12th, which is a. And there's really no good short way to get here. Like there's no, that you could try and plug in values, I guess. Like you could pick a value for x and a value for y, I guess that would be possible. I guess that's, yeah, that's the closest to a good shortcut I can give you. So if you were looking for some sort of a shortcut, right? So so that's how I would do this problem. But if you pick an x and y, as long as, right, so you have to make sure that y equals 3x minus 12, right, you should be able to get your answer. So the easiest one of this, the easiest number I can think of is if I pick x is 4 and y is 0, then I get that 8 to the x over 2 to the y should be 8 to the 4th over 2 to the 0, right? Which means I just get the answer 8 to the 4th. And then I have to think to myself, okay, which does this match? Right, because that's not a choice. 8 to the 4th is not a choice. So which does this match? And I say, okay, cool, well, I do know that 8 to the 4th is the same as a 2 to the 3rd to the 4th, so there's my 2 to the 12th, right? So that's answer A. Or maybe that's not the one you spotted. Maybe the one you spotted was if x were 0. If x is 0, then y is 0 minus 12, which is negative 12. Well, if you try the same thing, you're going to get 8 to the 0 over 2 to the negative 12th. Well, that's a 1 over 2 to the negative 12th, which is a 2 to the 12th. So a thing to be clear about, now again, I went a much more algebraic route, but if you're given a guideline that something has to be true, so you're given the guideline 3x minus y is 12, and that is literally all the information you have, then you could choose an x and y that are those values. Now you have to be careful because of this not enough information. You might want to choose multiple x and y values that meet the quality to show that you do have enough information. But notice we did. I chose two different values of x and y that meet that quality, and in both cases I get the same answer. So the answer is A.